I'm Scott Groom and I work on bees, but not honeybees. I work on basically every other kind of bee. Bees are a really ideal subject for studies of social evolution because we see a huge diversity in social states within the group. In Japan, I'm looking at one bee species in particular called Lasioglossum ballicum. And this species is what we call socially polymorphic, where we have both solitary and social nests occurring within the one population. The ancestral state of all bees is believed to be solitary. So when we're looking at the transition between solitary and social living, it's much easier to look at a bee that is closer to that point of transition, such as the bee here in Japan, compared to something like the honeybee, which has a really complex social structure. So this species, like many other bee species, actually nests in the ground. They like semi-shaded areas, so not too sunny and not too shady, kind of dappled sunlight, which in Japanese is a word called Komorebi, which is quite fitting for a bee that only lives in Hokkaido. Once I do capture the bees, I'll snap freeze them in liquid nitrogen, and once I've done that, I can transport the bees back to the lab. Next, I extract enough RNA that I can sequence all the expressed genes. So the difference between those genes that are expressed gives us really great insight into how social behaviour evolved. But that's only part of the puzzle. There are a whole suite of environmental factors that also contribute. I've always been interested in conservation and, making a difference. I've known I wanted to be a scientist in some sense since I began school. At one stage I considered being a chemist, but I realised I liked adventures too much. It's taken me all over the world, basically. I've worked through some of the remotest parts of the Pacific Islands. I've been to China. It's taken me to conferences in the US, in Korea, in New Zealand. And I think this has been really important to me and my development, both personally and professionally. I am starting to feel like maybe it is time that I head back home. I'd get to apply the skills and experience I've gained overseas to projects that will have a direct impact on my family and friends. But it would also be quite difficult to leave my work here, which I really enjoy. Being named a finalist for the Science Excellence Awards was a really humbling experience. I was very honoured to share the stage with some really promising researchers based in Adelaide. In the short term, being named a finalist probably has its biggest impact on my self-confidence as a scientist. But these kind of acknowledgements really allow you to look back and see that what you're doing actually matters.